I love that. I thought that was the best app. Yeah. I thought it was the best.
I went to the wrong place.
You could sort of feel this in the tune address by mistake.
Okay.
Go away from vacation. You know.
Don, if you're going to speak, and I know you are, sign up.
Well, I don't have to speak. I'm going to just observe. I can speak later.
All right, where do you sign up? On that piece of paper?
Right here. I didn't want to be a back row Baptist
Terrible.
There's a bunch of them all sitting without tables sitting there. I'm afraid of flying objects up here. Does 10 megapixel stills. That's lovely. What a lovely picture I have. I can just write it like that.
Ask the canvas even. First thing I was looking for Bill Russell. Is he here?
Mr. Russell's in the room. Come on up.
So first thing I want to do is to recognize our attorney, Scott Dillon. Thank him for being here with us tonight. And we'll go down through the agenda here. I want to look first of all at your approval. And the agenda, has everyone looked at? Anyone have anything to add to the agenda?
I move that the agenda be approved.
I second.
All right, approved as read, and then
Move copy.
okay. Motion and second. Everyone in favor?
Aye.
January the 15th. Rest of everybody's had an opportunity to look at that.
May I ask a question on the minutes?
Yes.
The last one, the motion made to change the frequency of meetings, was that based on what the bylaws allowed for?
No, and we probably need to discuss that. I'm not sure that,
It was just before approving the minutes, it said that a motion was made and passed, and I don't.
but I understand there's another motion to change it, so.
Yeah, it's an agenda item, so we'll discuss it.
Yeah, we'll discuss it.
So if we can approve, I guess my vote would be to approve the minutes, striking out that line about the minutes last time the motion was made and passed.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I would make a motion to approve as amended.
Second.
I don't recall a discussion about the committees, and new assignments. I don't recall that being discussed at the last meeting.
Well, as far as I remember, it was, and we went through to give the opportunity for those that would like to serve on these committees. There's nobody forcing the hand. So it's an opportunity. A number of folks have requested an opportunity to serve on committees. And these were the ones we came up with.
Does anyone else recall they did have it?
I did recall that,
I recall it, Dwayne, you were there.
as a new member of the board, I remember them saying that they were going to be reviewing committee appointments and letting us know what committees we would be on.
Is that a selection that executive committee assign board members without, I'm sure there's a board committee I'd like to be on other than one I'm on.
I move that we discuss board positions.
Point of order.
Yeah.
You can't make a motion
motion.
while we're discussing.
Can it be added to the agenda?
The agenda's already been approved for
We
the.
can't talk about it at all.
Once it's been approved, it's approved, isn't it?
I'm glad you like this, John.
Okay, whatever. Talk about it.
I move we approve the board minutes.
I second.
Actually, Shari moved.
As amended.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approval of minutes January 15th. We got that.
That's what we just
We just
approved.
did.
We did.
That was last meeting. I'm not doing a present.
Yeah. The other, the committee assignments, we can discuss that, and if there's another place you'd rather serve than what we've assigned, then we can
I have a question about
consider
the
that.
executive committee, which is supposed to be the president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. We don't have a vice president right now. And, how did I get on there?
You're a committee head.
They're not
That's
on,
on.
they're not on the executive committee, according to the bylaws.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a committee head, so you can mark me up for that. I'm getting off this board in June, so I'm not having a committee for 3 months.
Okay?
Take me off the executive committee.
Request somebody else.
And the nominating committee.
And I was on the nominating committee, and I would like to stay there. And I was on policies and procedures, and that seems to have gone by the wayside.
So your request to me is
To be on the nominating committee,
to be on the nominating committee?
and I was on the policies and procedures insurance.
What happened to that committee?
Disappeared.
Oh, it just disappeared?
We
Did we decide as a
discussed,
board, did we
no.
decide as a board to
we
to
discussed,
disappear?
we discussed last time the restructuring.
It's up to the president to.
The president appoints the committees.
Did you do away with the
Mr.
policy?
Chair?
Point of order, we're getting off that subject.
One committee.
Well, we,
Mr. Chairman, I would like to be on one more committee.
Could you speak up, please?
I'd like to be on the nominating committee. Add to that. Thank you.
Well, you don't have to do it, you don't have to do it right now.
Would everybody please speak up?
Yeah.
This is like the courthouse, we can't hear what you're saying.
Well, Don, this is our meeting, not yours. so-
I know, but would you please make it public? It is conducted in
all right,
public.
we're just discussing the nominating.
You're doing a fine
committee.
job, Jerry. Thank you very much for speaking loud.
And Sanders requested to not be on the nominating committee, being, no, Richard wants to go. And
And so does Devine.
we'll take those under consideration. Put on the nominating.
May I ask a question? Are the committees that are standing committees specified in the bylaws?
Yes.
So these are the committees that are specified in the bylaws?
I'm not sure, I don't think so.
Could I request that before next meeting, we review the bylaws to ensure that all standing committees are appointed?
Yeah, to some degree, that's why I'm here, is if you have a question about the bylaws, I've reviewed them, and I can tell you what committees are on the bylaws.
Okay.
Or if you have some procedural issues, but it's, as to which, your agenda, feel free to just ask me. I'm not gonna volunteer anything, of course, I don't wanna interfere with the process, but beyond that, I'm happy to help. Your committee, beyond volunteering this just now, your committees that you have in your bylaws are the executive committee, the finance committee, the nominating committee, and then a sort of catch-all other committees, which is created at your discretion for special projects.
But the standing committee is on the
Executive, finance, and nominating.
Okay.
That's right.
These are ours.
Thank you.
Sure.
We do have an executive committee report to make, and it's on my agenda here that we had met on February the 16th. We actually met on February the 9th, and on that date we changed the venue, as I was required to be at my job to meet with the staff at Trinity Baptist Church, and I requested that the meeting be moved to Trinity for my convenience to be there and be on the job like I'm supposed to be. We do have audio of that meeting, and I'd be glad to let anybody listen to it that would desire to. So that's my report for right now.
Mr. Chair, being that the meeting was called on such short notice and didn't give everybody a chance to attend, or can we move that we disregard what happened to the meeting and reconvene at another time?
No. I won't support that.
No.
We need to follow through on that.
We did, and so we had the meeting. We'll
Yeah.
take any question or any comments.
What happened in that meeting? I haven't seen any minutes.
Well, we met to discuss
We did have minutes.
the issues here, and we met there on the 9th, and all the officers and executive director and the parliamentarian were present. The meeting was called to order at 8:15 a.m. on the 9th. And the agenda was stated for discussion about board personnel. The executive session was requested due to possible legal issues arising from the recent press about URTV. And then our meeting recessed at 8:30. After the return to open session at 8:45, a motion was made to recommend the dismissal of Richard Bernier and Devine Dial from URTV board and to begin the notification process. The meeting ended at 9 a.m.
And that can be done in executive session rather than a full board meeting?
Mr. Chairman, it's in the bylaws.
I'm looking for it right now.
Mr. Chair, that was a recommendation.
Yes.
Yeah, also, Mr. Chairman, also have a point of order. What we're doing here, these are reports, you know, they're really not points for discussion.
Sure.
You know, so basically what we need to do is go through there, you report and move on. And then the items of discussions are the things on the agenda. You know, the motions here we have, different motions in this agenda. So basically all we're doing is reporting.
Those of us who were not privy to the meeting should have a report on it, as far as I'm concerned. I heard
Well, he
you-
just
I heard you read it, but he didn't like it, just report on it.
No, he gave the report, he just told you.
Yeah, he did it correctly.
Oh, that's
Good job, Bill.
Did you give me that?
All right, Joe, the treasurer's report.
All right,
On there.
treasurer's report. As of February 28th, current assets stand at $169,819.36, which consists of 50.8% of our total assets. Fixed assets stand at $164,748, 49.2% of our total assets. Our total assets for URTV stand at $334,567.62. Change in total assets in January stand at a gain of 2%, with a gain of 4% in current assets. As of February 28th, budget performance for the year so far, that's from our fiscal year goes from July all the way through June. Our expenses performance stands at operating at 23% under budget, which means we're $37,019 under budget where we should be right now. Revenue performance stands at operating at 12% above budget, whereas that means by this time we are predicted we have $19,224.97 more than we were supposed to. Item number 2, county funds received. Buckingham County PEG funds received and deposited to URTV in February were an amount of $25,381.68. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions on that?
Sorry, I didn't answer.
Executive Director's report should,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
was it for you, Richard? It was for Jerry, information.
Our executive director,
Could you repeat what
Pat
you just said? so I can hear?
Garlinghouse, is out of town today, and so we will save her report for our next meeting. We have old business, and Richard, I think that's...
Yes.
has to
The oath of office that was presented just to the new members, the last board meeting we had, after reviewing it, had many concerns about it. URTV cornerstone foundation is to be transparent and open, as well as provide the agreements that we agreed to with the county and city. An oath of office, I have sworn several oaths of offices, and when I read that, it appeared to be a secrecy oath at the very end, the last part of that oath. I made objections to that to the secretary, which stated he had no problem with that. If we're going to have an oath, it needs to be provided, first of all, to all members, not just to the new members. We probably need to discuss that. We certainly conforms with the oath of office based on URTV bylaws and our mission.
Yes.
It's strange that we have an oath of office now. We haven't had one in
Excuse me,
2
point
years.
of order, point of order. At this stage, what we're supposed to do is make a motion, what is your motion? And then we go, basically what happens, we have a motion.
Yes.
And then if the board wants to discuss your motion, they
Sure.
second it. Then the third, we have a talk, like you're talking now, so we're out of sequence. So if you could make a motion, you can.
Well, the motion is to pull the improper oath and come up with a new one.
I'll second that.
I'll second that.
Okay. So now we go into discussion. And basically, the way the discussion works, under the parliamentary procedure, Robert's Rules of Order, everybody gets a chance to talk. In other words, let's say I talk, and I can't talk again until everybody else gets to speak. And then if still conversation wants to go on, unless somebody says, okay, let's do the question, and then we can all vote on it. And it's basically a majority. So if somebody wants to start first, we can start with you and start the discussion, or anybody here wants to start, and basically you just say, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to know, we haven't never had an oath of office before, from what I can understand. Why have it now? And who approved this oath? And that would be my 2 questions.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, basically, what we're doing here on the board, again, is we're just making statements, our positions. Like, I'll give my position from the standpoint, I signed the oath of office, I had no problem with it. So, that's why I didn't feel like I was being coerced in anything I thought was reasonable. So, that's my opinion as a board member, so anybody else wants to talk to it.
I signed the oath and I feel it was reasonable also. The oath is essentially word for word the same oath as the county board's taken. That's why we used it. We did add a confidentiality oath, not a secret oath, it's far from that, because most other public access stations have that. So what we need to do, and I've already announced what we're going to do, is review that and see if that clause belongs in there or not. So what I'd like to do is move that we table this until we can review it, as per Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay, now the Robert's Rules of Order, to table that, basically table means that they're just going to set it aside until some other meeting. Now, unless somebody seconds that, his motion, it's not, they won't table it. So if somebody in the committee seconds it, it will be tabled.
I second it.
Point of order, can we have 2 motions simultaneously happening, or do we have to finish your first motion?
Usually what happens, you can do another motion, which if it's tied, depends how it ties in with what you're doing, but usually you finish up the first one, unless it ties in, and you go to the second. It's called a sub-motion.
Yeah, actually, what I think Richard is asking somewhere in there is that we review the oath, and that's what we're going to do. We've already announced we're going to do it.
So basically what we're moving into is we're going to review the oath, so we might have to have a copy of that oath. And then what Richard would do, he'd make a motion to make a change, or move to make a change to the oath.
Yeah.
Okay? And then for, people all in favor say aye, or opposed, and they go like that way. Now, if there's more than one, it's probably best to go through it and put that there. So probably if there's a contention that you have, like, are you talking about the whole oath or just a part of the oath?
Part of the oath. I
Okay,
think it
so-
should be removed, yes.
Okay, so basically you can make a motion to the effect of, I'd like to change this line, and then we can discuss it, and then we vote on it. Or we don't have to discuss, people just say, you know, so do the question, we can vote.
I'd like to strike.
So would you like to redo your motion, or withdraw the first one?
Well, I'd like to leave it standing. I think we should
Okay.
pull the motion, pull the oath, which is improper.
The whole oath?
Yes,
Okay.
redo it entirely.
All right, so
I
that's,
second the motion.
okay.
So I second it and it comes up with you.
Same thing, yeah, we're wasting time, folks.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, don't we have to vote then on it?
All
Yeah.
in favor?
Which are we voting on?
No.
Or is it all one motion?
We're,
One motion is
what-
basically just to remove the oath as it stands today.
Well,
We can work
review
on
it.
another.
Yeah, we're good, okay, all in favor,
Aye.
okay,
so,
that's over.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, Dean, I think we have
Membership meetings, yes, it was proposed last time to drop one more meeting. I have been on board for 9 months. The original reasoning for going to bi-monthly meetings was so that committees would be meeting in between. Having been on the board for 9 months, I have yet to go to a committee meeting. So while that looks good on paper, doesn't seem to be becoming a fact. So I would like for us to consider going back to monthly meetings.
so basically you phrase that, I motion that, I make a motion that,
I move that we go back to monthly meetings.
okay? Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I'll have discussion.
Now, we don't have to have discussion, we'll go to vote, somebody can object. So.
I object to every month. Absolutely. Right now, we stand at every other month, and we can just leave it at that.
Any
I object to going every month also, I think we should keep it the way it is. It's there for a very specific reason. We're all volunteers, we can always get here every time, so we can't depend on a quorum. So let's leave it the way it is, it seems to be working.
Mr. Chairman, I believe we should have monthly meetings. A couple of months in between, a lot happens. Our,
No coaching, please.
Just parliamentary procedure, folks, I'm sorry. A motion's on the floor. You gotta have a second on the motion for your parliamentarian before you discuss it.
You did say, did you say?
I did second.
Yeah,
We
it
did
was
that.
seconded, Don.
Who seconded?
The guy with the
Yeah.
hat on.
All right, let's just discuss it, good.
Also, you know, I understand the audience, you know, and you're here as our guest, and I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't speak out to the board. You have your opportunity towards the end of the meeting. Okay, you have an opportunity. Because you can see, as parliamentary rules, we have chaos if we have two-way communications with people in the community versus what we're trying to do on the board. We're trying to get to our agenda here and discuss it, okay? And you'll have an opportunity to say what you have to, want to say towards the end of the meeting.
Mr. Chairman, trying to talk, we had an interruption. There's so much activity in URTV that I find it would be very reasonable to have monthly meetings. The need of that is tremendous from committees. Unfortunately, don't meet or they participate like policy and procedure. So I would second the motion today, maybe to do that, vote on it.
All right, we have some more discussion on it.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask, and I'm sorry, once again, I don't have the bylaws. Last month, when we talked about having less frequent meetings, even a quarterly, it was mentioned that the bylaws specified how frequently we had to meet. Do the bylaws specify an absolute or a minimum, or what the bylaws say?
As
about
far
it?
as